In the state of Michigan, there's a law that nobody knows about. It's called the implied consent law. What that law is, by getting a license, you imply to consent to a breathalyzer at the police station. If you refuse that breathalyzer at the police station, then you've triggered the implied consent law, which is a 1-year license suspension. You can refuse the breathalyzer on the side of the road. That's called a preliminary breath test. If you refuse that, that's just a $150 civil infraction. When you refuse the breathalyzer at the police station, the officer will send that paperwork over to the Secretary of State. Now you have 14 days to request a hearing with the Secretary of State, and they will give you a request for hearing form when they release you from jail. Once you receive that request for hearing and you don't submit that request for hearing within 14 days, then you will not be getting your license back for a year. When you submit the request for hearing within 14 days, it'll trigger a hearing with the Secretary of State, which will be done online. Prior to the hearing, I usually have my clients write an apology letter to the officer, trying to get them to withdraw from the hearing. Before we run the hearing, I will ask the hearing officer if I can have a minute to speak with the police officer. I will speak with the police officer, see if they've got the letter that you had written to them, and see if they're willing to withdraw from the hearing. If they're not willing to withdraw from the hearing, we're most likely going to lose the hearing because they only have to put 4 elements on the record. The chances of winning an implied consent hearing are probably around 5%. So really the only way to win the hearing is to get the officer to withdraw from the hearing. If the officer won't withdraw from the hearing and we lose the hearing, then the only other way to get your license is to do a circuit court hardship appeal, and that would be in the county that you were arrested in. I rarely lose circuit court hardship appeals. I can only think in my lifetime I've lost one.